Alright, Flat Rate Mechanic here again, and we're diagnosing a P1101 for airflow volume on this Chevy Malibu, which seems to be a pretty common problem. The customer came in and they had already replaced the mass airflow sensor, and one of my techs diagnosed it, and we ended up cleaning the throttle body and putting in a map sensor right here, and the light still came back on. So I'm gonna kind of go through what I found and how to check these. First off, what you really need to do if you're dealing with a P1101 for the airflow is you're gonna need to smoke the actual boost side of this intake system. So basically you're gonna have to block off where the air comes in here and block it off here, and you're gonna want to check for leaks through this through the turbo, through the intercooler, and see if you got any leaks on the air charge side of this whole system. If there's any leaks whatsoever, it's going to cause that P1101. We did smoke that. We took it off here. We actually smoked it through here, blocked this off. We didn't find any leaks, so that all checked out good. And we've replaced both the boost sensor and the mass airflow sensor. Or the map sensor, sorry. The only sensor we haven't done is a boost sensor, but thus far that seems to check out alright. But I'm going to show you what we found. I do have this little deal here. Wants us to check some of the perimeters on the scan tool, which I have up right now. We got our boost pressure sensor, fuel trim, manifold pressure, and mass airflow. So and on here, one of the first things it wants you to do is it wants you to basically compare your boost pressure sensor to your map sensor pressure. So we can go ahead and do that, and you're going to want to do that with the engine off. So we'll go ahead and shut the engine off, and we'll go to English here. So we got pounds, and you can see we're relatively close to in range. We got 13.5 and 14.1, so I would consider that acceptable. So now we'll go ahead and start it. The next thing it wants us to do is check the mass airflow sensor. We should have approximately 3 grams per second at idle, so we're going to go ahead and check that next. I'm going to go ahead and start it up, and we'll change our scan tool to metric so we can read grams per second. And looks like we're at about 2.8. Now this is a new 2.4 actually. So this is a new mass airflow sensor. Our idle seems like we are idling very low. We did do a throttle body cleaning on this, so I'm not sure if we need to do a relearn on the idle, which on these GMs they're supposed to relearn themselves. I'm not even sure if there's a manual way to relearn that idle, but I'm going to go ahead and bring that up to just about 1,000 RPMs and see where that brings us. So at 1,000 RPMs, we're at 3 grams per second, but at idle, we are, seems like way below. We're at 3.7. So I'm suspecting a bad mass airflow sensor. Now I actually took this mass airflow sensor out and I cleaned it, and what happened when I first put it back in is this thing was reading dead 3 grams per second at idle, and I believe because I cooled that sensor off. It's a heated sensor, so I don't know what cleaning did, but it seemed to work temporarily. But right now, let me bring the idle up to, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can keep it at like an 800, which would be a normal idle. Yeah, so right there is about 800, and as you can see, we're still at 2.5. So that is definitely unacceptable. We're going to go ahead, and the customer actually put this mass airflow sensor in themselves, so I'm suspecting it's probably just probably a cheap mass airflow sensor. We'll probably go ahead and get ourselves a GM mass airflow sensor, but I'm pretty sure that's going to fix this vehicle. If there's anybody out there that's dealt with any of these or is familiar with any of these readings, feel free to comment below, because I've been seeing a lot of problems with these, even on like Identifix and some of the help networks. There's just tons of help requests. So they've been having a lot of issues. Sometimes it can be even supercharger or turbocharger issues as well if that's not boosting, and the boost side leaks. So But that's about going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. If it was helpful, be sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up button.